Let's play two. It's Oklahoma in their home tournament squaring off against Drake for a showdown with Grand Canyon U later this evening. Hi again, everyone, and welcome inside the booth here at windy Marita Hines Field along with Destiny Martinez. I'm Chris Plank, and we're getting gusts, Destiny, of up to 40 miles an hour today from Mother Nature. How challenging is that out in the outfield?
Yeah, that's going to be tough. They have wind coming straight out to right field, so the right fielders, I mean, every outfield position is going to have to be on their toes and just expect a little bit of a shift in the ball as soon as it's hitting the air.
It's going to be tough to get one out to left field, but the Sooners had no problem last night. 4 home runs. Destiny, you were impressed with how aggressive they were at the plate, weren't you?
Yes, they were very aggressive. It took them a couple innings to get going, but as soon as one hit a bomb out, I mean, they kept passing the torch, and I know that that's something that Coach Gasso really expresses, is that she wants the teams passing the torch, and that's exactly what they did last night.
Yeah, that's Shay Knighton shot. I still don't know if that has landed yet, and a little bit of love from Kylie Lundberg. And as you said, you pass that torch, everyone gets going. That carries momentum, doesn't it?
Exactly, and as soon as you feel that momentum, it's pretty hard to break the Sooners.
That will finally play the game. Oklahoma and Drake. The Bulldogs come in at 12-10 on the season. Their starting lineup looks like this. That's Mandy Rockmel, who is their leadoff hitter, but their big concern here for Drake is their cleanup hitter, Taryn Pena, who, though she's not quite hitting 200, only 186 on the season, she does have 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. So here we go. First pitch between Oklahoma and Drake. And here's Remick. Mandy Remick, the shortstop. A lefty-on-lefty matchup with G. Juarez, and she takes the first pitch in for a strike. G looked impressive last night. Taking care of business. As the 0-1 pitch is popped foul, that's going to get out of play. G. Juarez has been on quite a run since the BYU game. We talked about it a lot during last night's broadcast. And it continued here last night. The 0-2 pitch misses low for a ball. She made quick work of Northwestern. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Juarez, up high, 2-2. Sooners on the infield. That traditional set with Romero at third, Lyons at short, Clifton at second, Knight at first, and Lindsey Elam behind the plate. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Elam pops all over it, throws to first, and there's 1 away. So Destiny, the impressive run for G. Juarez continues.
Yeah, she's very impressive. Just seeing her be able to mix up her pitches, and last night I know we talked a lot about her being able to get her off speed going. Very impressive. But I think one thing here that she's probably going to really focus on is just getting ahead in the count early in the game.
So here's Macy Johnson, lefty-on-lefty matchup as that first pitch misses outside for a ball. There's a good look at Drake's head coach, Rich Calvert, who is in his 17th season. He's the all-time wins holder at Drake, and last year he led the Bulldogs to their first ever postseason win. Maybe I should be more clear. They won games in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, but their first ever win in the NCAA tournament. They were in the Eugene Regional. They beat BYU twice, but they lost to Oregon twice as well. So the Ducks advanced. 2-0 pitch is popped foul, and that gets out of play. We are just underway here from Marita Hines Field on a very windy day for softball. 66 degrees. Look at those flags. Oh, my goodness. How do you handle this in the outfield?
It's tough.
2-1 catches the inside corner.
Make sure that first step is always back and expect it to shift towards right field a little bit.
I remember, wow. There's a good chance if you get one up towards right field, it's going to get out of here, but you got to hit a line drive to get it out of left field. 2-2.
And this isn't something that only outfield has to worry about. If you get a high fly ball in the infield, that's going to be even more tough, I think. So for the shortstops and second basemen to have to go back, I think the wind could take that over, and that's going to be a tough play as well.
Good look at Reagan Rogers out in center field getting the start today for the Sooners. 3-2 pitch. Pop foul, and that's going to get out of play again. Winner's Iowa product. Macy Johnson trying to get on here, the center fielder with a .339 average this season. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Well, that's a rarity. A walk from G. Juarez.
Right, we talked about that yesterday. This may be her fifth since that meeting that she had. Yeah.
With the run that she's been on recently, the one thing she hasn't done is walk batters. She walked 1 yesterday. And since the start of the Mary Nutter Classic on February 22nd, which, by the way, encompasses almost now 26 innings during that stretch.
Impressive.
That is only her fourth walk in that stretch. Wow. 1-0 pitch is a bunt foul to Libby Ryan, the Mount Vernon product, third baseman.
Fourth walk in 26 innings.
I've got a little math to do during the break. It might be a little bit more.
Let's see how many hitters.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. 1-1 pitch is fouled. One ball, 2 strikes in a scoreless game just getting underway. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just getting a piece of it is Ryan to stay alive. Here's the updated numbers on the season for G. Juarez, who did get the win. She's now 7-0 on the year. This is her 9th start and a 1.82 ERA as the 1-2 pitch fouled back. We were talking about the low walk numbers. Totaled 42 1/3 innings this season, 56 strikeouts, make it 57 now with the strikeout of Rimick to start the game. Just 8 walks on the year. Here's the 1-2. Nice change of speed. A good job by Ryan hanging in there. She fouls it off. Drake pushed Northwestern to the brink, if you will, last night, losing an extra innings to the Wildcats. There's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Could it be a strikeout? Throw him out? No. Just in under the tag is Johnson. Second strikeout of the game, but Drake does put a runner in scoring position. Good throw by Lindsey Elam, just a little bit late. Good jump as well over at first base for Macy Johnson. That's her 9th stolen base of the season. She's now 9 for 11 in stolen base opportunities. And Taryn Payton is the concern for the Sooners here today. First pitch is in for a strike. Her average is probably not where Taryn would want it. But she's been the main power source for the Sooners, or pardon me, for the Bulldogs this season. For the Sooner pitcher G. Juarez, she cannot make a mistake here. 0-1. Weekly jumps ahead on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Are we seeing the Sooners do anything positionally different, Destiny, with the wind, or just play it normally?
Not that I've noticed. I feel like Reagan is maybe a little bit more towards right field, maybe just preparing for that wind.
Doesn't matter here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. After a walk, G. Juarez works around it. We're scoreless after a half inning. Along with Destiny Martinez, I'm Chris Plank. Our producer today, Theron Smith, as we get set for 2 games today. Sooner softball. Take a look at that Oklahoma starting lineup here on Sid Romero Day. Brought to you by Love's Travel Stop. A little different look, Destiny, is Jocelyn Allo had been in that 2 slot. She slides down to the 6th hole with Shay Knight moving up to the second spot. What do you think?
I mean, I feel like Coach Gasso has so much room to move the players around that it doesn't really matter who is where.
Sid will lead things off. First pitch is in for a strike, and maybe that's the biggest difference here is Kaylee Clifton had been in that leadoff spot for the Sooners, and Sid Romero, who was the leadoff hitter down the stretch last season, is in the leadoff spot for the first time since Kaylee was ill in the game against Arizona. There's Nicole Timmons. Did a nice job here on Friday against Northwestern. 7-5, but it's not the Northwestern ace. Popped up on the infield, easy play for Remick, who makes a little basket catch just outside of the circle for the first out of the inning. So maybe in talking about Knight moving up to 2, we kind of buried the lead there a bit, Destiny. Sid Romero in the leadoff spot, and Kaylee Clifton moves down to 3.
Yeah,
but as you said, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, normally you'll see a table setter at the beginning, maybe a slapper, somebody that can drop a bunt, but I feel like there's still, everybody in this lineup is able to contribute in all different ways. I think, I know Shay's a monster hitter, but I think she could even drop a bunt down. I mean, they're very versatile and very well-rounded. They can get the game going, hit doubles, home runs. I mean, they put pressure on the defense. I think they're all very capable, so it almost doesn't really matter where in the lineup.
Count evens up at a ball and a strike. It's a really good point. We saw Shay try to lay down a couple of bunts throughout the season, so versatility is a key. Now, will the wind hold it up? I don't think so. Get out of here. No, it just does at the warning track. If you ever want an example of how strong that wind is blowing in from left field, there's a great example on this shot from Shay Knight. She maybe didn't quite get all of it. Oh, maybe she did.
Well, I think she did, yeah.
I think
right off the bat, that would have been out. The wind kind of brought that back in to...
Ooh. Well, our first example of the kind of difference that Mother Nature could play today. Here's Kaylee Clifton. Kind of give you an idea of how unique this is for CC not being in the leadoff spot. The only time she hasn't hit leadoff was when she was ill. And the first pitch is in for a strike. But again, the leadoff spot is not much different for Sid Romero, who was the leadoff hitter down the stretch for a majority of last season as the 0-1 left a little up. Sid led off the final 30 games of last season. So not too different for her. 1-1 pitch is high for her. Kind of unique, though, for Kaylee Clifton in the 3-hole. Tried to wait on the 2-1. Falls in for a strike, 2-2.
I think one thing that the hitters are going to have to acknowledge is that if they are stronger hitters to the left side, they're going to have to work balls on the ground. I think harder through the infield, try to eliminate the hard shots out.
Swing and a miss. Boy, a rarity here in the first inning for Kaylee Clifton as she strikes out and ends the inning. We head to the first, or bottom of the first inning completed. We head to the second. Sooners and Bulldogs are scoreless. Welcome back to Sooners softball on Sooner Sports TV, presented by the OU Extended Campus. Degrees online, on site, on your schedule. Become the tradition. Visit pacs.ou.edu along with Destiny Martinez. I'm Chris Plank. Darren Smith has informed me it is a beautiful day outside. So
it's beautiful. A little bit of wind.
Bask in it. The first pitch from G. Juarez, swing and a miss. A pitch up and in to Kennedy Frank for strike 1. This is one of those days where it's hard to find a seat. The outfield is absolutely packed with crimson-clad fans. 0-2 as G. Juarez throws it right by Frank, who's looking for just her second multiple-hit game of the season. So far here in the Oklahoma tournament, she's 1 for 6, went 0 for 3 against Northwestern yesterday, 1 for 3 against Grand Canyon U. Barely gets a piece of that for the Chesterfield, Missouri product. Juarez stays ahead of the count, no balls and 2 strikes. pitch. Cold strike 3, 1 away. That's the 4th strikeout already for G. Juarez. My goodness.
I don't know where she thought that was.
Right on the outside corner. Becca Barnett takes the first pitch. Well, you have to love the personality of G. Juarez. She has just absolutely found a zone over the last couple of weeks. She's fallen behind here, 2 balls and no strikes to Becca Barnett. You were talking about Shannon Sales' attitude in the circle. G's developing one here too, isn't she?
Yeah, Shannon, I feel like she had a little bit of attitude on the mound. G seems a little bit more calm and cool.
3 balls and no strikes here, though.
I think this is the first time I've seen her this far behind in the count.
She hasn't gone outside of the walk. She hasn't fallen behind anyone. 3-0. Starts to fight her way back here. 3 balls and a strike.
With her walk
Look at Barnett
ratio, I don't feel like she really throws a lot of balls. She throws a lot of pitches that gets the hitters to chase. So the hitters have to be disciplined.
And ball 4, so second walk in as many innings for Barnett. Here's Gabby Jonas. They're in the 6, 7, and 8 spots of this lineup for the Drake Bulldogs. These are areas where you should not be walking hitters. I mean, Becca Barnett was hitting .040. Now they've got an opportunity to sacrifice her to second, where they will. Good job by Knight not risking the throw. This is now the 2nd inning in a row in which Drake has put a runner in scoring position.
It's a great job by Gabby Jonas as well, getting her job done, just moving that runner over. I think that when you get in the box and you understand you're facing Giselle Juarez, you're probably not going to get to hit home runs and doubles off the wall. So just slowly piecing it together and getting your job done one at a time is what they need to look for.
And there's something that I'm sure will delight Jen Rocha, the Sooner pitching coach, and G. Juarez. She jumps ahead on the count, no balls and a strike. Runner at second here, 2 outs. Good look at Coach Rocha. The ball's fouled right to her. Did she make the play? Didn't get it. Jen making her way from Florida after a successful stint at Wichita State, and of course here at the University of Oklahoma. Coach Gasso standing right next to her. Pretty powerful duo there in college softball. The 0-2. Froze her. I mean, that was unfair. No chance, inning over. G. Juarez has looked absolutely fantastic as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Sooner softball presented by OG&E Power at the speed of light. We are scoreless. Series history between the Drake Bulldogs and the Oklahoma Sooners presented by OU Extended Campus. Degrees online, on site, on your schedule. Become the tradition. Visit pacs.ou.edu. And as Patty Gasso looks on, the Sooners have never lost to Drake. 6-0 as the first pitch just misses to Fale Aviu. It didn't miss by much. Ball 1. In fact, the Sooners have hosted Drake, as you saw in the graphic there on the TV side, 5 times, claiming a pair of wins in 2013 by run rule. There's a shot by Fale that's going to actually get helped by the wind, as that ball to left field falls just fair and out of the reach of Bowie. I don't know what to make of that ball, Destiny.
I think it's just a tough play. I mean, with the wind kicking the way it is, I don't know if her read was ready for that, but I mean, strong hit right off the bat, and it's tough because you need to prepare for maybe shift. And
didn't look like it did much at all.
Oh, she just wasn't there. She just didn't get there.
So a single for Fale Aviu. Well, we'll see. They might rule out a double. I think that's got to be a double, right?
Right.
She was set to take second, regardless if there was any bobble at all by Bowie out in left field. So a leadoff double for Fale, and Grace Green shows bunt. Fale basically is almost at third base, but we'll try back to second because no one was threatening her. Remick, the shortstop, had rotated over to cover third for Ryan, who was charging. And Foley, view where the shortstop Remick is now, is about where Foley was before she started to trot back to second base.
And this creates a tough play. I mean, Foley's going to have... Oh.
There's a base hit up the middle. Let's see if they send Foley. No, they'll hold her. Center fielder Johnson gets away. Here comes Foley. Will they get her? No! Safe! One-zip Sooners on the aggressive base running from Foley of view. And a good piece of hitting by Grace Green, Destiny.
Right, and great base running by Foley, just being alert on seeing that throw come in. And then Grace as well, rounding first base, seeing that throw come all the way to home plate and just taking second base.
Here's Jocelyn Alo. Grace, by the way, is, you might be able to figure out, did indeed take second base. She stands there with Alo at the plate. First pitch misses. Now the wind is, at least from the center field flags. Well, as soon as we said they might die down again, they kick up, blowing more in the face of Alo. Loops this one to left field. Is that going to get up and out? No. Nice play by Bowie again. After the mistake that she made that led to the Aviu double, she fights that liner and makes the catch at the warning track. Ooh. That's just a tough play. Every play in the outfield is tough.
I think everything in the air is going to be tough.
Here's our Sooner player to watch today. Grace Lyons, brought to you by OU Extended Campus. She got things started last night with a no-doubter over the center field wall. Takes the first pitch high. One of two Sooners who have started every single game is the left side of the infield. Romero at third and Lyons at short. And as a freshman, that's a lot to put on her plate, but boy, she's handled it well.
Right, that's fantastic. I mean, once you get settled in and you find that comfort zone, I think it's a lot easier. But again, I know Coach Gasso probably has made it very clear that it's not your spot. I mean, you got to work all season long to keep it.
She's jumped ahead on the count, 2 balls and no strikes. There's the NFCA Hall of Famer. By my count, Patty Gasso is a member of 5 different Hall of Fames. Green's going to go to third. I think they got her. Nope, she gets in right under the tag. Lyons showed a bunt. Green said, I'm taking the bag, and she did.
That's a really tough play on the defense because you have your third baseman charging, and then it becomes a race between your shortstop and the runner, and then the throw has to be perfect. I mean, there's just a lot of commotion going on there, so it's a tough play for the defense as well.
Created chaos, if you will. The 2-1 is high. 3-1. That's the third stolen base of the season for Grace Green, and she won that foot race just barely with Remick.
Right, but I mean, as it becomes a foot race with the shortstop. Then you got to get to third, set yourself up for a tag. The throw has to be perfect. I mean, it's just a tough play.
There's a pitch up, ball 4. So the Sooners have freshmen at the corners here with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning, and they've jumped on top 1-0. Here's Lindsey Elam. Sooners have been very aggressive in first and third situations this season. Heck, in the entire history of Patty Gasso as the head coach.
Yes, a lot of practice goes into first and third place.
It's going to be a straight up bunt, and it's a beauty. The run will score easily, and Elam beats it out. On her way to third is Lyons. The throw gets away. Here comes Grace. The Sooners scoring all over the place as Elam slides in safely. It's 3-zip Oklahoma on a beautifully placed bunt by Elam and aggressive base running by the Sooners.
Great execution on this play. I mean, they framed it as a squeeze. Then the runners kept going. I mean, you have Grace running from first to third. You have Foley knowing she's scoring, and the placement of the bunt was beautiful.
And a tough toss by Timmons really opened things up, but let's not lose sight of the hustle by Lindsey Elam, the catcher, to make it happen. And Oklahoma has put a 3-spot on the board here in the bottom of the second inning in a much different way from how they scored last night.
And that's what I think this is their better bet with this win that they're having to deal with. Keeping the ball out of the air and just causing the defense to really make some plays is what's going to help them the most.
Reagan Rogers bats here, takes the first pitch for a strike. Rogers has been splitting time this season in center field with Nicole Mendez. And she takes the 0-1 pitch high. This is Reagan's first start since the Sunday second game against UC Santa Barbara at the Mary Nutter Classic. The 1-1 is in for a strike. 1-2. Blanchard product by way of Bridge Creek High School. 3 home runs already this season. 9 RBIs and a season batting average at .355. If the wind is her friend, that's going to be well out of play, and indeed it is. She had a hit and a pinch hit appearance against the Ragin' Cajuns here last Friday. Sooners didn't get to play on Saturday last week because of the cold weather. The 1-2 off speed. She pops this one into left field. Knocked down where the shortstop is going to be able to range out, and Remick makes the catch. And there's 2 away. Now for a moment that looked like it could be trouble in a chase between the left fielder Bowie and Johnson.
Yeah,
but
it's tough. I mean, these plays are going to take a lot of communication and a lot of focus on really reading the ball on its way back down.
And here's Sid. Sid popped out to short her first time up. Takes the first pitch in for a strike. She has been listed in the Sooner Media Guide as a San Diego product, but she hails from Temecula. As the 0-1 pitch is popped foul behind home plate. Very close to each other, though.
Right.
So
Member of Team Mexico.
that she is. Her and her sister Sierra. Aaliyah Flores on this Sooner roster as well.
Exciting.
And it's her senior. I can't believe it's Sid's senior year. The 0-2 pitch is high for a ball 1-2.
Hard to believe that.
There's some people that would say, I can't believe she's still in school, because she's been doing it since her freshman year. She's been on the national stage since the first time she stepped on campus. On any other day, that might be big-time trouble, but today it's going to be an easy pop-out to left field, and the inning is over. But the Sooners do some damage on the base paths. Oklahoma jumps on top 3-0. Sooner softball presented by OG&E, power the speed of life. Abby Bowie fouls off the first pitch she sees from G. Juarez as we start the top of the 3rd inning. In strike 1, Oklahoma leads it 3-0. Along with Destiny Martinez, I'm Chris Plank. Darren Smith, our producer. On a gorgeous day. Windy, though. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour here in Norman. 0-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Drake's just having all kinds of problems with really having any success with G. Juarez so far. 5 strikeouts through the first 2 innings with the Sooner junior. 0-2. And I just speak it. Base hit, their first hit of the game. And so much for the problems that Drake's been having at the plate as Bowie gets the hit. Nice job of hitting here.
Right, really taking advantage of that inside pitch.
Bowie over 300 on the season. That's her 6th hit of the weekend. She was 3 for 3 against Grand Canyon, 2 for 3 against Northwestern. She's now 1 for 1 here tonight. She's on a heater. First pitch is high to Remick, a strikeout victim in the first. When you get on a hot streak like that, everything looks good to you, even when you're down 0-2. Here's the 1-0 from G. Well, that's trouble into left center field. It falls right in front of Fale. I think she tried to get it back in quickly, bobbled it just a bit, but everyone moves up 60. Maybe I should rephrase that. Only able to move up 60. Another good piece of hitting on a low away pitch, and Remick just put it back where it came from. Good angle there. I don't think Fale had to play at second anyway, did she, Destiny?
No.
First pitch strike to Macy Johnson, who walked her first time up.
Abby Boo is a slapper too, so I don't think. I mean, she's pretty quick. Just getting that ball in, I think, is what her goal was.
A foul down the left side, and that's going to get out of play. And again, Juarez. Oh, nice catch in the stands. Juarez jumps out quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Johnson went 1 for 3 with a run scored in the win for Drake over Grand Canyon U. There you go. Yo 2. Hopped up. Boy, this could be an adventure, but Sid's going to watch it go over the dugout. Watch this play by the fan again, Destiny. This is what you call a star-studded play in the stands. Or not. Oh, here you go.
Here we go.
Get your 2 hands up. Called off everybody.
He did. He called everybody off. He stood up instantly. This is his.
Called strike 3 as Juarez gets a pitch just a bit up to go her way. Good job of framing it by Lindsey Elam. Oh. And as you might imagine, down the third baseline, Rich Calvert is irate. Strikeout number 6 for G. Juarez. And here's Libby Ryan, strikeout victim in the first. With runners at first and second, 1 out here in the third, Sooners lead at 3-0. That pitch looked really good, but just missed on the outside.
It's got to be tough facing Juarez. I mean, you want to be really aggressive and take advantage of the strikes that she is throwing, because she does throw a lot of chase pitches.
So far this week, and Ryan is just 1 for 7. The 1-0 pitch misses up, and she's falling behind 2. When you say chase pitches, in other words, she's trying to get you to go after something a little bit out of the zone.
Yeah.
.2-0 here from the lefty. Rio. Time is called. Lindsey Elam is going to go out and chat a bit. And G. Juarez. Okay, so maybe a little bit of a reach here. We know the wind affects everyone in the field. As Shannon sails up getting ready for the Sooners in the pen, does it affect the pitcher much?
I don't think so. Not with the speed that they have. Maybe a little bit of a slower pitcher might get some pickup, but I think with how hard Giselle throws, I don't think that's a factor she really has to worry about.
Here's the 3-0. 4-pitch walk. You will not see that very often from Juarez, and after giving up 3 runs in the bottom of the second inning, with just 1 out here in the top of the third, Drake has loaded the bases. And here's Taryn Pena. And Jen Rocha wants to have a quick word with Juarez. Something new the Sooners have started to do over the last couple of years is when Rocha comes out, or in the past Missy Lombardi, while she'll chat with the pitchers, Patty Gasso will talk with her infielders to make sure everyone is on the same page. In the outfield, I don't know what you guys do out there. Let's take a look at what's coming up in Sooner Athletics, presented by Red Carpet Charters. Well, it's a big one coming up here in a couple of hours over the McCaslin Fieldhouse. Senior Day for Yule Moldauer and this incredible group of championship seniors for the Sooners as they square off against Illinois. And then Destiny and I will be back later this evening with the Sooner Sports TV crew. They take on Grand Canyon. By the way, Grand Canyon, who beat Florida State this week, but hasn't won since. So it's been a struggle for them since handing the #1 team in the country their first loss of the year. Baseball's got a midweek game coming up against Texas Arlington. Women's tennis against Kansas State. And don't forget, in the midst of all of that, the men's basketball tournament for the Big 12 in Kansas City. Let's look up at upcoming OU athletic events, brought to you by Red Carpet Charters, the official motor coach carrier of OU athletics. The home run leader for Drake hits one a mile high. Racing out is Lyons, and she can't get there because it hits just off the front facing of the temporary bleachers for strike 1. I mean, this wind, we'll talk about it a lot.
I mean, it plays a huge factor. It's a big deal.
If you're sitting at home and you're watching and you think, come on, really? No, look at that. Look at that. Here's the 0-1. Up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, G. Juarez hasn't faced adversity like this for quite a while. And she's right in the midst of it here early in this one. Bases loaded, 1 out, the pitch. Perfectly placed on the outside corner. And Juarez ahead on the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crowd claps in unison. Juarez brings it home. Ooh, just missed.
That's a pitch you're hoping to get the batter to chase. Down and out.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Did she go? You bet she did. Strike 3, 2 away. 7th strikeout of the game already for Juarez.
What a great pitch, and that's another one. There, you see them chasing it, and even if somehow she did make contact, it would just be a slow roller, maybe to the right side.
2 away. And here's Kennedy Frank. Juarez misses high. Ball 1. 64 miles an hour, so she's still in that mid-60 range with her fastball. Here's the 1-0. She took a lot off of that and missed. 51 miles an hour. Credit Drake, though. They're not chasing a lot of bad pitches outside of the swing and a miss from Pena. The last at bat. Frank, by the way, the lefty, was a strikeout victim her last time up. 2-0, swing and a miss. Boy, what a really bad 2-0 pitch to swing at. 2 balls and a strike. The rise ball absolutely fooled Frank. And now Juarez has battled back to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big pitch here from G. Juarez checks with Roach in the dugout. Brings it home. Just staying alive. Big pitch. Big at bat. Here it comes. Again, a good job staying alive by Frank.
A tough battle on both sides. It's a big pitch. You don't want to fall behind in the count.
Get a good look at the rotation. Great camera. Juarez misses with the 2-2 pitch, and we've gone full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Juarez gave up a home run early in the game against Louisiana Lafayette last Friday night. Was virtually untouchable last night against Northwestern. Big pitch, bases loaded. Line shot off the glove of Clifton into right field, a base hit. 1 run scores. The second run will slide in safely, and behind a 2-out, 2-strike single into right field from Kennedy Frank, Drake has cut the Sooner lead to 3-2.
Just off the glove of Clifton.
Oh. It's the first time since February 16th that G. Juarez has given up more than 1 earned run in an appearance or start. And she's still in trouble here. Swing and a miss to Becca Barnett. Walked her last time up. 2 outs, 2 runs home. We got ourselves a battle here in Norman today for the Sooners. Oklahoma leads it 3-2. 0-1 pitch is in for a strike, and quickly Juarez has jumped out 0-2. Long look into the Sooner dugout for the junior. Low, runner goes. They'll throw down. They got her caught in a rundown. They'll watch the runner at third and tag her out at home. What a throw by Grace Lyons, and what a tag from Lindsey Elam. Walk us through this, Destiny.
So the goal here is to get the runner to get Lyons to focus on the runner coming to second, get her to focus on that and have her make a throwing play at home. That's a tough play to make, but it's completely practiced with Coach Gasso, and they really focus on the first and third plays a lot. But the goal is to get the focused on the runner coming from first to second, draw her attention so that her throw may or may not be a solid throw to home plate for that runner coming into home.
And what a throw it was. It preserves the Sooners' lead. It's 3-2 Oklahoma as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Shea Knighton leads it off for Oklahoma. So in other words, Grace Lyons did everything she was coached to do there, right?
Exactly, yeah. She handled that play very well.
There's a ball that's ripped foul.
She was able to time that perfectly. I mean, she did give herself the time to potentially make that play with the runner at second, but as soon as that runner from third took off home, she was able to turn her feet and make that throw.
1-2. Popped up. This could be trouble with the wind, but the third baseman, Ryan, does a nice job charging in to make the play, and Shea is now 0 for 2 as she pops out to third. Sooners, though, holding on to a 3-2 lead. And if you're Drake, you probably have a little confidence with what you were able to do against G. Juarez, who heading into today's game had struck out 41 batters in the previous 24 1/3 innings and had allowed only 2 earned runs. First pitch to Cece is up high for a ball. Kaylee struck out her last time up, which is a rarity for Clifton. The last time that G. Juarez had allowed more than a single earned run in a game, back on February 16th against Hofstra. Sooners ended up winning that game 17-3. We'll take that same result here today. That's what it means. 2-0 count here, with Fale View waiting on deck. Nice play, ranging over off the little looper by Frank to retire Clifton, and there's now 2 away. Sooners risking a 3-up and 3-down inning for the second time in the first 3 innings. Looked like
kind of got her on the hands a little
jammed
bit.
up there for Clifton. Here's Fale View. The bottom of the third inning is the junior public address announcer inning. It's been a good inning for the Sooners this year, including yesterday whenever Grace Lyons hit a home run that gave the Sooners a 1-0 lead against Northwestern. Season so far, Sooners outscoring opponents 15-4 in the third inning, but tack on the 2 spot from Drake as the 1-0 pitch is in for a strike. 1-1. Fale reached on a double her last time up, and probably unfair. She hit the ball well. Bowie misplayed it out and left. Maybe sometimes wind like this can play mind tricks on an outfielder as well too.
It really can.
And there's a solid shot. Is that the same guy that made the catch?
Sign him up.
I think that's the same guy, Darren. Caught that one barehanded. Watch it again. Look.
Oh.
Wow. Get him a glove.
His
what
reflexes
he doesn't
are fantastic.
It's a second catch. 1-2 misses outside. How about the job our camera guys are doing? They've got to stay up as well too in this win. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Patty Gasso looking for a little 2-out magic from her senior review. That one in the dirt. Maybe we should stop 2 here and give some credit to the job that Timmons has done in slowing down Coach's offensive attack here today. Timmons was quite impressive yesterday against Grand Canyon U.
She's doing very well. I think she's ranging 58 miles per hour, which is kind of tough for the OU hitters, I know, because they are used to a little bit quicker. So having to have that patience and letting the ball travel to a solid contact point, that's pretty tough, and it's a big adjustment that they're going to have to figure out. There's a lot of pop-ups so far.
There's a hard hit ball towards left center field, and that actually ended up slicing back over to the left fielder Bowie, who made the catch. Unbelievable. Sooners lead it 3-2 as we head to the fourth. Sooner softball presented by OG&E. Becca Barnett was at the plate whenever the Sooners threw out Abby Bowie trying to steal home during a double steal. The first pitch from G. Juarez to start things here in the top of the fourth inning is low for a ball. Oklahoma leading Drake 3-2. Drake Bulldogs come in at 12-10 on the season. They put together a nice top half of the third. Sooners unable to answer in the bottom of the third. And now Juarez has fallen behind 2-0. Sent some energy and some enthusiasm out of the Drake dugout. They believe. Here's the 2-0 pitch. In for a strike, 2-1. Barnett walked in the second inning. 2-1 from the Sooner starter. This is low and in for a ball. Barnett's hitting .040 on the season. But she has now walked 6 times this year. 3-1, grounded to second. Good job by Clifton. There's one away. It's what you're supposed to do when you have a hitter that's struggling. Retire him. Becca Barnett's going to be fine this year. She's a heck of a hitter. She'll be fine as the season goes on. But in between her and Gabby Jonas, you have 2 hitters this year that are hitting 6 and 7 in this lineup, and they're a combined 3 for 49 on the year.
Becca's the only freshman in the lineup.
Yeah, it's a challenge. First pitch misses low to Jonas. Ball 1. I mean, between their 6, 7, and 8 hitters, 5 for 68. 1-0 is in for a strike, 1-1. In other words, it's an area in their lineup where the pitcher can really do some damage. You don't want to have them suddenly find their hot streak against you. The 1-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. With all that laid out, you can't help but be impressed with the plan that's been put forth by Rich Calvert, Tina D'Angelo, and Casey Griffith here today. They have not chased a ton of bad pitches until now. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for G. Juarez. Unofficially, that's her 8th. Ooh.
It's really moving it. Keeping the hitters on their toes for in and out.
Well, it's not a bad pitch either. It's a good look at the 17-year head coach. All-time wins leader at Drake, Rich Calvert. Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Melissa Schlotzhauer. The right fielder, a strikeout victim in the second. 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, though. It's the most walks in a start for Juarez so far this season. 0-1. Just misses. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Challenging is that for a slapper?
Yeah, an outside pitch is tough, but I noticed that she came in a couple times to
Jonas?
Yeah, Jonas. So on an inside pitch, I would drive that bunt, take it down the first base line.
Well, thankfully, she didn't have the brilliance of Destiny Martinez. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Sooners lead it 3-2. Sooners lead it 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch to Grace Green is in for a strike. The 0-1 pitch, though, misses up for a ball. Green singled and stole a base. Scored one of the 3 Sooner runs in that 3-run second inning. Looks to get things started off right for Oklahoma after a 3-hit game in the midweek against McNeese. 1-2 pitch, or 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, kind of fooled Green a little bit. Kind of started to, tried to stop, and then she couldn't. Jocelyn Allo waits on deck as the wind whips across the field. Good job staying alive there by Green. You can sense her frustration. How about a tip of the cap so far to the job that we've seen from Timmons in the circle.
She's doing a great job.
For
really
Drake.
keeping our hitters off balance.
1-2 is high. 2-2. Timmons has been really good here in Norman. We mentioned the solid performance against Grand Canyon. She had a stretch earlier this year where she won 4 straight. Missed foul. I think streaky would be fair for Timmons. She won 4 straight from February 22nd, including a complete game 1 hitter against IUPUI. A 6 1/3 solid performance against SIU Edwardsville in there as well, too, and then lost 3 straight. Green stays alive by popping that one out of play. The only time when she, I guess you could say, really maybe got hit around a bit was by Arizona. He had 10 hits, but just 4 earned runs in that game, striking out 6 and walking 1. So she's pitched against some big names before. And she's holding her own here today. 2-2 pitch, skied high into left field. Is that going to stay in play? No. And from all indications, don't necessarily know if the Sooners truly knew if they would see Nicole Timmons or Nicole Newman here today. Kind of consider their ace of his staff, but Timmons has looked the part. 2-2. That ball somehow stays in play, and there's one away as that ball legitimately just died right out in front of the plate.
I think she hit that with the cap of the bat. Killed it.
To watch the replay. But a nice job by Jonas, the catcher, to pop out, give herself some room, and throw out Green at first. One away. I mean, that ball hit and spun.
Yeah, that did it. I've never seen that before.
You know what? It didn't even spin. It just hit. One away, and here's Olive. Jocelyn to center her last time up and rips this one into left field, a base hit. There you go, Jocelyn.
I love watching her.
And the Sooners have their first base runner since the second inning. What a nice piece of hitting.
She takes advantage of every good pitch. I mean, every swing that I've ever seen her, whether it's a foul ball or something in play, I mean, every swing is so strong.
82 miles an hour off the bat of Alo. She'll get a pinch runner here. Mendez, maybe? Nope, Aaliyah Flores will be called upon to pinch run here.
Notice a little bit of shift in the wind. Flags were coming in for a second.
I don't know how anyone does it out in the field right now. I have no idea.
You have to keep the ball out of the air.
So Aaliyah Flores will pinch run here. There's a good look at the Sooner first base coach, Kelsey Arnold, as well. Kelsey kind of gave way to Kalani Ricketts last night at first base to allow her to
she
coach.
Lost the battle.
She lost that battle, but Kelsey has been a big key in helping to carry on the leadership for this team here in 2019. Sooners looking to add to their 3-2 lead as the first pitch to Lyons looked like it almost hit her. Or at least she tried to get that off the Evo shield. Instead it misses ball 1. Lyons got the party started last night with a bomb over the center field wall. She walked and scored a run in the second. 1-0. Hard hit ball to short. Could be 2 to second. Did they get the 1? They did. And Frank decides just to go ahead and get the lead runner. So Lyons reaches on the fielder's choice. That's sometimes a tough play for a second baseman to stay on the bag, but a perfect throw by Remick, the shortstop. And there's one away.
Yeah, it's a tough play with you running so far over, having to reach a little bit to catch that. It's going to be a tough play to turn your feet around and make the out at first.
Pardon me, 2 outs. Forgot about that. Whatever it was off the bat of Grace Green to start this inning. So Lindsey Elam due up here. Patty Gasso will go to the bench, though, and use Nicole Mendez. Elam will likely re-enter. Obviously, I would say obviously, but with Kelso getting a few innings during the midweek, you never know for sure.
Or is Mendez capable of playing catcher, too?
Well, Aaliyah Flores has tried it. With Lyons at first, the first pitch to Mendez is in for a strike. Last night, Nicole got the call to start in center field. She went 1 for 3 with a run scored. Had an incredible experience to be part of an NCAA summit for student athletes before the season started. The 0-1 pitch. She hits that hard but foul down the left side. Has a solid personality. She is fun to be around and really in a battle right now for playing time between her and Reagan Rogers. Reagan getting the start here. In fact, Reagan's on deck. Mendez has shown her versatility. She can obviously pitch. She's played a little first base this year too. 2 pitches up for a ball, 1 and 2.
I think it really might just come down to who your opponent is and what you're looking for in the lineup to fill those spots. Because they're both very capable. I mean, they're great athletes.
In the bottom of the 4th, Sooners lead it 3-2. Runner at first, 2 outs though. Oklahoma trying to add to its lead. Indy takes a pitch low, 2-2. That's a good point. It's almost like a construction set.
Yeah.
You can just build it however you want. I almost said Legos. That might be unfair. You can just build it however you want with this lineup.
Yeah, do we need Nicole to come in here? Maybe hit a double off the wall. Maybe show some slap.
Well, ball gets away from the first baseman. Do they get the tag in time in the bag? They do. Nice job by Frank hanging with that to end the inning. And Drake escapes unscathed. We head to the 5th. Kinsey Kelso does indeed check into the game behind the plate for the Sooners. So when Nicole Mendez pinch hit, she not only ushered in a new catcher, but ushered in Nicole Mendez into the field for the Sooners as she's out in center field. Reagan Rogers shifts over to right as we head to the 5th inning. Oklahoma leads Drake 3-2. Back to work for G. Juarez. So there's Reagan out in right field now. So your outfield from left to right is a view. In left, Mendez in center, and Reagan Rogers moving from center to right. And Kinsey Kelso in behind the plate as the first pitch to Abby Bowie, the lefty, is in for a strike. Bowie, the left fielder, singled and then was thrown out at home on an attempted double steal that ended the 3rd inning threat, the 0-1, and she's quickly behind, no balls and 2 strikes. I love learning the strategy of the slapper from listening to you, Destiny, whenever, you just think it's as simple as, I just put the bat on the ball. Oh, no.
There's so much that goes into it, and I think the main focus is getting that ball to the 5-6 hole for most slappers. But when you're throwing her in like that, that's a tough thing to do, get that ball inside it out. Yeah. And you could see her kind of open up and try to do something with that, but that's a tough pitch.
Strikeout number 10 for G. Juarez. 1 away. Here's the leadoff hitter, Remick, who is 1 for 2. She bounces this one towards the right side into right field. Little confusion, it looked like, between Knighton and Clifton at first to see who was going to go after it, and just past the diving Clifton. Whose ball is this?
It's a tough. Oh, Shea may. I mean, if Shea laid out, though, there's no one at first. So it's a tough play. I think she could have stopped it, but regardless, no one would have been.
Kind of no man's land,
right.
Too. And with Remick, you've got one of the faster Bulldogs, so it'd be tough to beat her to the bag. And here's Macy Johnson. Macy Johnson is 0 for 1. Strikeout her last time up. Deadens a bunt. Kelso throws and gets her. What a play by Kinsey Kelso to pop out and throw a bullet down to first base, 2 away. I mean, there was no hesitation from the true freshman.
Just a great play, hopping out of there, barehanding it, getting rid of it. I mean, she's got a strong arm.
That was a bang play at first base, too. She had to play it. Oh, she just got her, too. Just.
Yeah.
First pitch is a ball.
She should have stepped on the front of the base. She stepped almost to the back of the base.
And if she would have actually hit the front part of the bag, I think she might have been safe.
would have been there, yeah.
But her stretch towards the bag for Johnson pushed her towards, as Destiny accurately pointed out, the back of the first base bag. And Juarez has fallen behind 2-0 here to Libby Ryan. Ryan walked and scored her last time up. She's 0 for 1. She was one of the 10 strikeouts so far for G. Juarez. 2-0. 2 balls and a strike as that's fouled back. But this is the 4th time in 5 innings now that Drake has put a runner in scoring position. They're just 1 for 5 in those opportunities here today. The only hit coming from Kennedy Frank in the 3rd. Ground ball to short, make him 1 for 6. Lions with an absolute smoked throw to first base to end the top half of the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Sooners lead it 3-2. Oklahoma leads it here 3-2. Sooner softball on Sooner Sports TV, presented by the OU Extended Campus. Breeze online, on site, on your schedule. Become the tradition. Visit pacs.ou.edu. Reagan Rogers will lead things off in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch she takes for a strike. As the solid performance from Nicole Timmons continues. The sophomore has been fantastic here tonight. She misses with the 0-1 though, 1-1. She's moved the ball around a lot too in the zone, hasn't she, Destiny?
Yeah, she's been able to really move the ball around, but I really think it comes back down to her speed that the Sooner hitters are not really used to.
And that was 59 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure that was her fastball. That kind of shows you the challenge.
Right. I mean, it's tough, but you have to be patient in the box.
1 is popped away, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I've seen a lot of pop-ups, and what the slower speed pitchers are able to create that is because the hitters get ahead of themselves and they start to send the bat in the barrel before the ball is even there.
Here's that 2-2. That ball's drilled foul. When you consistently work with a much higher velocity, it's a challenge whenever you're consistently seeing this.
Right, and even the ball coming off of your bat, you're going to have to be a lot stronger almost to get it through the infield because you're having to use that. There is no velocity.
Like that. Reagan Rogers powers one back up the middle for a single. Reagan's first hit of the weekend puts the Sooners leadoff hitter aboard for the first time since the 2nd inning. That powering it back through the middle, just past the reach of Timmons. Along with Destiny Martinez, I'm Chris Plank. Darren Smith is our producer. Michael Cord, our director. Joe Manning, our on-site engineer. And a cast of thousands here from Sooner Sports TV, bringing you Sooner softball. Here's Sid Romero on Sid Romero's Senior Day as the first pitch is high for a ball. Sid's 0 for 2, though. Popped out to short and to left field. Destiny, you've pointed this out quite a bit. That wind looks like it's starting to shift a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's coming in a little bit more. So our hitters really have to keep the ball out of the air. I think with it coming in now, it's not going to go.
How about that?
That'll work.
Bounces it down the line, does Romero. That'll score Rogers. Sid holds up at second base. It's an RBI double from Sid Romero, who bounces one down the third base line to open up the Sooner lead to 4-2. What were you just saying about making sure you hit it on the ground?
Right. You got to hit it on the ground. Just keep it out of the air with the wind, but also with the slower pitcher. You don't want to hit too many pop-ups. You just got to sit back on your weight and get it through the infield.
And that's exactly what Sid Romero did. And here's Shea Knight. Sooners get the leadoff hitter aboard, and what do? They score a run on a beautiful piece of hitting by Romero. And here's Shea Knight. She's 0 for 2. Takes the first pitch for a strike. You're not even hitting 60 on the gun, 58.5. Shea flied out to left, flying out to third. Ryan made a nice play as the 0-1 is up high. How big of an adjustment is that, though, too? Is it just more of where the pitch is, Destiny, or is it just something that you physically have to adjust, maybe instead of trying to swing up on it, hitting down on it a little bit more?
I think it's really just keeping your weight back. I mean, you see the hitters load and they keep their weight back, but as soon as they start to send their hands forward, their weight goes forward as well. So if the ball isn't there yet, it doesn't really matter where the pitch is. I'd say that an outside pitch would be tougher to hit because you have to let that get later in the zone anyway. But no, it just really comes down to them keeping their hands back and keeping that weight back as long as possible to let that ball travel deeper into the zone.
Trusting your bat speed as the 1-1 call drew an ire and a boo here from the crowd to make it a ball and 2 strikes, but Timmons misses with a 1-2 pitch up high. So a 2-2 count here to the Sooner senior first baseman. The pitch. Hard hit up the middle, base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Romero. She'll score without a throw. An RBI single from Shay Knighton, and the Sooners have opened up a 5-2 lead. And again, a little patience, powering it back through up the middle.
Exactly. And something that I've noticed is when OU gets their leadoff batter on, it's just nonstop, very consistent as soon as you get that momentum started from the first hitter of the inning.
Pretty sure we'll see a pinch runner here for Shay Knighton. JT Gasso is out with head coach Patty Gasso talking with the home plate umpire. That's Michael Parker today, and Shay will get a high five as she dances off the field from Kaylee Clifton and Fale Aviu. And Audrey LaValle will be the pinch runner for the Sooners here. LaValle came in late in yesterday's game. The Choctaw product by way of Carl Albert High School. It's been called upon on a pinch runner on several occasions so far this season. By my count, this is her 10th appearance as a pinch runner for the Sooners. And maybe an opportunity for the Sooners to help kind of blow the top off this one, leading it 5-2 with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cece Chodemont pulled it back, takes it high. What do you think of these dance moves from Shay, Destiny?
She's got it going on. Look at her. That's funny. You got to keep it fun.
She wasn't done. She kept dancing all the way off the field, too.
She's probably still dancing in the dugout.
The 1-0. Good job of waiting on it, but right at the third baseman who will throw to first to get the out. LaValle got a little bit confused at second base at first.
She may have thought it was a foul ball.
Either thought it was a foul ball or a line shot.
But that must have been a hit and run play. She was stealing.
So one away, but the runner does advance to second. The reason I say LaValle, she started to step back towards first base and then stayed on the bag. Hard hit ball by Clifton, but it's the first out of the inning, and here's Fale Polima. As the first pitch misses high, Aviu doubled and scored a run in the second, flied out to left in the third. She is 1 for 2 so far here tonight. By the way, Shay Knighton's RBI was her 15th on the season. Sid Romero's RBI was her 20th to lead the team. Just a reminder, this is only game 20.
Right?
This is only game 20 of the season. And while that number is impressive for Sid, consider that's the 15th RBI for Knighton. And she hasn't played in 4 games this year. The 1-1. Good pitch. As Aviu falls behind to count a ball and 2 strikes. LaValle, the pinch runner at second. Grace Green waits on deck. The 1-2. Hard hit to first. Eats her up. Oh, what a play to catch it out of midair by Pena and step on the bag. LaValle safely in at third. There has been some adventurous plays over at first base today for Pena. And this is added to the resume reel. Ooh.
Tough play. Way to stick with it, though. And try to make another play.
Yeah. Aviu hits it hard.
Up.
LaValle just took the turn a little bit too much. It gets back in safely as the first pitch to Grace Green is a strike. Fale now, by the way, 1 for 3. Grace Green is 1 for 2. Her season average up to 367 as the 0-1 pitch is high for a ball, 1-1. Sooners have opened up a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. thanks to the seniors here in the 5th. A leadoff single by Reagan Rogers, an RBI double by Sid Romero, and an RBI single by Shea Knight. 1-1 pitch misses high, 2-1. Sooner dugout showing a little life.
To keep the momentum rolling.
Here's the 2-1. 3-1. 46 miles an hour. How hard is it to wait on a 46 mile an hour
It's tough,
pitch?
especially when you're practicing against the pitchers in the 60s.
3-1 is in for a
High
strike.
60s.
Well, you're practicing against Delaney Gurley and Kalani Ricketts, too.
Oh, yeah, so that's tough.
That's not easy.
You're seeing something 30 miles an hour slower than what you face in practice, that's going to be tough.
Full count pitch. Popped up. The wind may be our friend here, but a good play by the shortstop, Remick, in foul territory ends the inning. But the Sooners do some damage. They lead as we head to the 6th, 5-2. Sooners have a new pitcher. We'll tell you about Shannon Sale here in a bit, but here's the road ahead presented by GMC. Tonight, Grand Canyon at 6 p.m. And then the Sooners will take on Northwestern in a single game tomorrow at 1. And then Destiny, we're off to Cal. You know,
I get to go?
Let's go. Los Angeles, California. The Sooners will have a rematch against UC Santa Barbara. Take on Loyola Marymount as part of their tournament. And then take on CSUN to wrap up their final non-conference tournament of the season. So that is an exciting time ahead. The road ahead been brought to you by the Central Oklahoma Buick GMC dealers. We are professional grade. Here's Shannon Sale. Looked good last night. Missed on the first pitch, though, a 1-0 count. Falls behind 2-0. Sale in 2 innings struck out 5 last night. Not too shabby for the junior transfer from Florida International. She's 3-1 on the year. This is her 12th appearance. 2-0 pitch is a swing and a miss by Taryn Pena. Pitching change brought to you by Air Comfort Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today. Pena's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And rips this one foul. He's even the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just to give you kind of an idea of the difference between Sooner pitchers and what they're facing from Nicole Timmons. That last pitch from Shannon Sale, 67 miles an hour. So it's a much different world. Pena digs in from the right side of the plate. Sooners lead it 5-2. The pitch up. Full count.
Yeah, so the Sooners, I mean, if they're seeing Sale in practice, and it's a tough adjustment in the box against Timmons.
Give a ton of credit tonight to the job that Timmons has done. 3-2. Did she go? No. Ball 4. Where was that pitch? Did not miss by much. Let's watch it again.
Ooh. Not much.
Job by Kelso to try to frame it as well, too. And that will bring with the runner on board Kennedy Frank. She has the big hit for Drake here today. And she takes the pitch for a strike. Frank's 2-run single in the 3rd inning opened up things for Drake. At least made this a little bit more concerning for the Sooners. Cut the 3-0 lead to 3-2, and she pops this one foul down the left side and quickly sails out in front of her. No balls and 2 strikes. Been quite a run so far for Kennedy Frank. Couple of hits. She went 1 for 3 against Grand Canyon in the Drake win. The 2-pitch misses up and away.
It's interesting for me to see Mendez on this side, on the right side of second base, with the speed that Sale has to a lefty.
Cole Mendez in center field, a very unique position. 1-2. That got all the way to the backstop. Runner got a late jump. The throw is offline, but a good job backing it up by Mendez. Kelso may have wanted to just hold on to that one. And that one, well, that was a true definition of a wild pitch. Not much Kelso could have done. No other way to really put that.
Barely missed the hitter.
Is even the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is on the outside corner, full count. It's a really good observation on Nicole Mendez in center field. I don't know if I've ever seen the center fielder positioned there.
I mean, she's very far over, and I know we're kind of working both sides of the plate, but on an outside pitch, that could be, there's a big gap in left center.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 1 away. First strikeout of the game for Sale. And that's the 11th for Sooner pitchers here today. That's threw it right by her. 66 miles an hour on the heater from Sale. Now Mendez moves over to a little bit more of that traditional spot, Destiny.
Getting nervous over here.
The first pitch to Becca Barnett is in for a strike. Well, or does she? JT Gasso in charge of the outfielders. Neal 1. Swing and a miss, so 2. Mendez is a little bit of everywhere, to be honest with you.
She's all over.
68 miles an hour. There's a good look at Jamison Thomas Gasso in his 4th season as the Sooner hitting coach. 1-2. Swing and a miss. That was unfair. Absolutely unfair from Shannon Sale, and there's 2 away. 11th strikeout by Sooner pitcher, 2nd straight by Sale. Straight gas. And Drink's going to use a pinch hitter here, Laura Anderson. Interesting note here on the Drake roster. They only list 5 players on their bench. 2 of those are pitchers, 3 are position players, and Anderson's one of them, their backup catcher. Sarah Maddox and Alexa Laura are the only other 2. So a fairly shallow bench for Rich Calvert as the righty Anderson digs in, and Sale continues to pound the zone. Strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Blowing it by them.
5-2 Sooner lead. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Sale looking to make fairly quick work of the Bulldogs here in the 6th. And you're right, Destiny. She's just rearing back and throwing fastballs right past him. Does it again. Shannon Sale, you are so unfair. Strikeout number 3 of the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Sooners look to add to their 5-2 lead. Absolutely picture-perfect day here in Norman, Oklahoma for softball. Sooners take a 5-2 lead to the bottom of the 6th inning. And Jocelyn Allo will lead things off. Allo single in the 4th. Pinch runner Aaliyah Flores was forced out at 2nd on the ground ball by Lyons. As you might imagine, Jocelyn is re-entered and takes the first pitch for a ball. Her season average is at .368 for Allo so far this season. 10 RBIs. And she's ahead on the count here now, 2 balls and no strikes. And Jocelyn's...
What's happening?
Jocelyn had one issue. I think she had asked for time. And maybe Nicole Timmons had started to pitch. 2-0, 3-0. Now time is go. Patty Gasso.
She will handle it.
Coach goes, I've got this. I like the interested faces in the background there to see the conversation too. Was she quick pitching her maybe a little bit? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I haven't seen it much in my 4 years now calling games as the 3-0 is in for a strike.
I would probably want to quick pitch to Allo too.
It's a good point. That's a good point.
Let's get in here. Let's get this over with.
3 balls and a strike. Timmons has been pretty fantastic here today for Drake. And she's battled her way back from being behind 3-0 to run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ball 4. And that didn't miss by much. 46 miles an hour. So you're talking between what Timmons is throwing and what Sale is throwing, 23 miles an hour difference. And I understand it's different pitches here. We're trying to compare a bit of an off-speed versus a fastball.
And you have to consider all the movement that they have.
Absolutely. Well, here's Grace Lyons. She's 0 for 1, reached on a fielder's choice her last time up. Takes the first pitch low for a ball.
And I've noticed Timmons stays pretty down in the zone, so the ball is already sinking. Plus any extra movement on it, it's going to be tough to hit.
The 1-0. That ball's hit pretty hard to center field, but I think the wind is going to make it an adventure that Johnson actually wins. 1 away. She raced back, which, as you said, you're always moving back.
First
and then
step
she had to
back,
sprint in.
always.
1 away for Lindsey Elam. See you guys on Twitter. We appreciate everyone listening in. At OU on the air, Jet City Gin watching women's gymnastics while following along with softball in Seattle. Chase up in Broken Arrow. MKB with the nieces watching along. That's the beautiful bunt by Mendez. There's no way they're getting it. No way you're getting the speedy Mendez at first base.
That's the versatility that I talk about with Mendez. She's able to do anything and perfectly place it. There's so many aspects to her game that she has just gotten so well at.
Look at Kelsey Arnold giving a safe call, too. Shout out to Tiffany Myers checking in Ridgedale, trailing to Kurt in D.C. Granny Cairn up in St. Cloud. Our buddy Larry in the St. Pete Sooner Den, and Mark Worley up in Ohio. Chagrin Falls, Ohio. We appreciate everyone checking in for Sooner softball. As Oklahoma leads at 5-2, they look to add more as Reagan Rogers takes the first pitch for a strike. She's Destiny Martinez. I'm Chris Plank. We'll be here all day. 6 o'clock tonight for the first pitch for OU in Grand Canyon. The crew will tether themselves to the top of the dugout so they won't blow away. This wind is not expected to die down at all here today. 0-1. On any other day, that might be trouble. Here, it's knocked down, and what a play made by Bowie out in left field. Allo has to come diving in to avoid the double play, and there's 2 away after Rogers put an absolute charge into one in the left field, but the wind just knocked it down.
I think that could have been problems if the wind didn't keep that in.
And a really nice play in left field by Bowie, who has had her work cut out for her today. See, Mills just checked in from Guthrie to watch Sid Romero's final at bat. Question mark on her senior day. The first pitch is hung up high for a ball. Sid doubled and scored her last time up. Drove in the 4th run of the game, too. She's 1 for 3 and has extended her hitting streak to now 6 straight games. Pops this one up. Adventurous over there for Pena, but it ends the inning. Sooners 3 outs away from picking up the W as we head to the 7th. Oklahoma leads it 5-2. A little bit of a different look here as we head to the 7th inning in the Sooner outfield. Oklahoma leads it 5-2 along with Destiny Martinez. I'm Chris Plank. Darren Smith, our producer. Michael Cord, our director. Reagan Rogers has moved back over to center field. Jocelyn Allo has re-entered into right field. And Lindsey Elam is back in behind the plate. That's why you currently do not see the home plate umpire in your picture, because he's going through the changes with head coach Patty Gasso before we start here in the 7th inning. That's one of the very unique things about the sport of college softball is the re-entry rule and how you can massage it and the flex. And you start a game, you can re-enter.
Right. There's a lot going on. You have the flex, the DP, the runners, pinch runners.
The pinch runners, yeah.
But that also goes in as an entry. So
now the explanation being given to Rich Calvert in his 17th year. The Bud Light postgame show coming up when we wrap up. If Shannon Sale can manage the final 3 outs of this game, it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Drake lineup. But Well, Sooners got a challenge today from a unique approach in the circle and done a pretty good job. It's a challenge with the weather conditions as they are, just with the wind. But as you said, they finally seemed to adjust a little bit, kept their weight back, and started
just working balls through the infield is what they needed to focus on.
They finally got it going, and G. Juarez was fantastic with the strikeouts, had a few walks, which hurt things for Oklahoma, but they're in position to pick up what would be their 8th straight win and their 39th straight home win here in Marita Hines Field. Grand Canyon U is watching from behind the first base dugout. They'll be next as the first pitch to Schlotzhauer misses. There's a good look at the Lopes. We've already played Grand Canyon once this year. It was a heck of a game. A 2-zip game heading into the 7th. A 1-0. Sit up with it, throws, one away. Here's Abby Bowie, who has had quite the experience out in left field today.
Tough day. Tough plays to make out there.
Sid makes challenging plays look so easy, doesn't she?
She makes everything look easy.
I got to share this.
She's so smooth at everything.
As Bowie digs in, the first pitch catches the, well, just misses the outside corner. She made a play on Tuesday against McNeese where one of the Cowgirls bunted, and while she was charging in, with all her momentum charging in, she stopped on a dime and threw a strike to second. Well, just watch her. 2-away. She stopped on the dime, threw the ball to second base to get the lead runner. And there were actually people that said on Twitter, oh, that's just routine. No, no, no.
Yeah, no.
It's fantastic.
It's not. And
it just
really,
looks routine.
Right, and it's really practice. I mean, it's routine for Sid.
Right.
But those are tough plays. And with the speed of the runner, I feel like it's kind of nerve-wracking to know, okay, you have a really fast runner. We're getting 2 hot ground balls.
Right.
Like, you got to really charge that, keep it moving, make a perfect throw. Like, it's not easy.
And how fitting is it to have her make 2 nice plays here in the 7th inning on her senior day? A day that's been dripping with emotion and big-time plays from Sid Romero. Swing and a miss, strike 2 from Sale to the leadoff hitter, Mandy Remick, who is 2 for 3 on the game. You got a long way to go in this season, and her impact will be missed. No question. The 0-2, just low. 5-2 Sooners, a 3-run second, 2 runs in the 5th. Drake challenged Oklahoma with a really nice 3rd inning, but G. Juarez and Shannon Sale have been sensational. 1-2, now back. Good job by Remick staying alive here. Sale's ready with the 1-2. Popped up. It's going to get out of play, though. Good hustle by a view, but as she disappears from your screen, there's no chance to make a play on that ball. Landed in the Sooner bullpen. But we appreciate the effort, Fala.
It's pretty awesome to see 5 of your 6 seniors all on the field at one time.
Well, Fala will have to make a play on this ground ball through the left side. A 3-hit game for Mandy Remick. And she does a nice job just waiting on a pitch and driving it through the left side. Drake's hope still alive. And you know, that's something that we talked about a little bit last night, Destiny, that we'll probably talk a lot about tonight whenever you and I get a chance to do games more often together. It's not just that there's 6 seniors. Nobody left.
Yeah.
Same 6 that were here from day one.
Yeah, that's important. And the amount of growth that they've got to experience together and the legacy that they can leave as a class to the incoming freshmen and the next class, the sophomores, juniors. I mean, there's just so much that they can learn from a group of 6. I know when I played, we started with 6, we ended with 3, but it's tough.
Oh, 1 pitch. Again, Sale throws it right by Macy Johnson for strike 2. Macy is 0 for 1 in the game. walked in the first inning. Was a strikeout victim in the third. Was credited with a sacrifice in the fifth. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Win column Sooners. Oklahoma prevails over Drake in a dogfight here on a Saturday afternoon. Final score, Sooners win it 5-2. And Shannon Sale was smooth. Bud Light postgame show is next. High fives all around as Oklahoma does it again. They knock off Drake 5-2. It's the 39th straight home win for the Sooners here in Marita Hines Field. And after losing against UCLA in the Marinetta Classic, the Sooners have now won 8 straight, including this 5-2 win, along with Destiny Martinez. I'm Chris Plank. This is the Bud Light postgame show. And Destiny, they finally adjusted and just put the ball in play. Got great pitching.
Right, and that's exactly what they needed to do with the wind being a factor here. I think just taking every inning as a chance to learn something new, to be better and produce in the next innings to come. Wale
View letting the wind do a little work here. The double helped to set the stage for the Sooners in the second inning. Grace Green does a good job of just powering it back up the middle. That put the Sooners on top. Never underestimate the base running abilities of the Sooner senior. Then on the bunt, good job beating the throw by Grace Green for her 3rd stolen base of the season. We head to the 3rd inning. Sooners get a bit of a threat on the 2-out single into right field that scored 2. Cut to 3-2, but in the 5th, Sid Romero bounces one down the 3rd base line on her senior day. Scoring all the way from first was Reagan Rogers, and that helped give the Sooners the cushion they needed. Shay Knighton will add the single up the middle, and Oklahoma goes on for the 5-2 win. Yeah, that's what you were talking about, just powering it back up the middle. Taco Mayo game recap.